Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast. Today we're talking everything client retention. So our client retention tips and tricks, the do's and don'ts of keeping your clients for the long run. And we are going to dive in and let you know how it works for us and how you can help retain all of your lovely clients.
Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to Happy Clients.
Now, you might be thinking, client retention, that sounds complicated. That sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like processes and SOPs and way too much. But here at Dot, we believe it's all about those little things. And if you've been around before, you might have listened to our podcast. We're always dropping these little things that we train our team on. Things like the daily pulse, how to communicate with clients, little updates. All these little things add up to be happy clients or not so happy clients. And it's not just one thing that makes a client stay or go. It's a combination of services, performance, relationship building, communication, capabilities. It's a beast.
And I think it starts with the right person in place, for sure. Somebody who thrives in this environment, but somebody who brings joy to the communications. I mean, brings joy, what a blanket term, but somebody who's like in it, you know what I mean? Top of mind is advocating for the client and knowing what's best for the agency. And I don't think that's for everybody, but having that right person in place is just the best start.
So let's dive into the three main pillars of client experience. So we kind of broke it down, identified it as 1, communication, 2, relationship building, and 3, partnership.
Yeah, so I'm definitely the communication guru here. I will talk to anybody at any time. Love seeing a meeting pop up in my calendar. But I think what is really important here is that you have to communicate effectively. We're not having meetings that are just chitty chat that seem like a waste of time. We want to make sure that we're really delivering on information, campaign metrics, campaign data, how things are going, coupled with building that relationship and making sure that you know what's happening in the client's life and you know that the launch is coming up and you know that they just stepped away from their corporate job to take this on full time. And those things are being celebrated. So the communication kind of goes two ways. You definitely want to make it effective on the agency level and make sure that those metrics are being met, the KPIs are being spoken to, but also effective in terms of building that relationship and trust, which we talk about all the time. And having those two kind of married together is a really great way to communicate to the client. Clients will get on Zoom and they'll be excited to talk to you. They see that email come in with 5 emojis and they get excited. They know your voice. They can feel your joy, as I just said. So that communication is so important. And I think effective on 2 fronts, personal and professional. And read the room. Some people don't want the personal stuff, but definitely having that baseline trust is great.
And a big thing for communication is how to prepare both before, during, and after. And having templates for your team. This is what we teach inside of the CAM community is, how to prepare for a meeting or a kickoff call. What is it that you should be talking about? What should you have in front of you for the call? How do you warm that up? How do you send follow-ups? How do you, all those things are just going to make it easier for your account management team to have that communication be super seamless and efficient.
100%. And sometimes you can be in the weeds a little bit. As an agency owner, you can just be thinking about the business. So having that person playing both sides who is in the business, but also in the client's business is a really great way to have those clients around for the long time and keeping them happy, even if things are kind of going sideways, maybe campaigns aren't performing, but they just know that you're doing a great job and you have that relationship. So it's just great on all the levels.
So welcome back to our podcast brought to you by the CAM community. Are you struggling to effectively manage your client services team? The CAM community has the solution. So our monthly membership offers a 7-module training program, templates, and most importantly, a community of experienced account managers to support your team. say goodbye to stress and frustration and hello to a successful client management team. Enroll now using the link in the description or visit dotandcompany.co/CAM community and take control of your agency's growth. We'll see you in the CAM community. So number 2, our second pillar is relationships.
Perfect segue.
Is relationships. I know Katie touched on this when it comes to communication, but relationships are just something that is hard to quantify. And it's about building these long-term relationships with your clients. And in order to do that, you have to surprise and you have to delight them. And this doesn't just mean sending them gifts. This means giving them pulses of what's going on in their account, making them feel like they're the only client, making sure that when you show up to that meeting, you are all about them. You are in their accounts, you are updating them. If something's going poorly, you are the one to ensure them that you have it on track, that you are going to make sure that it turns around. And by having resources on hand, like we call them happiness surveys or client gifting strategies or onboarding checklists, the more you have to surprise and delight your clients with all these little things, the better your relationship is going to be. It's not just if we get results or if we don't, it's who am I working with? How do I feel? Do I feel like this team is really working hard for my business? And it's so important when it comes to retention.
Yeah. And I always love recommending kind of being ahead of everything, right? I mean, so hard to do sometimes, but don't let the client come to you. If you see something going wrong, flag it, identify it with the team. So when the communication happens, you're telling the client, hey, notice this, we're doing this. I've got you. You're my top priority, fully support everything that's happening in this campaign. It's always great to be that first person to the email, to the communications, knowing what's happening in the account too. That is a really crucial part to a really great relationship. I prefer us going to clients, the clients coming to us, if that makes any sense. So we know what's happening. We're on top of it. We have the solution before the client even knows. That is such a great sort of support for the client. And I know that's like the KPI. So for evaluating relationships, like that is definitely up there for sure. But any relationship that is built on trust and really great support from your account management team really makes them feel like they're the only client and they will stick around because of that relationship. So we've covered communication, we have relationships. Finally, we want to chat about partnerships, because really that's what it's all about. You kind of start off, in the warm zone, you're getting hot, you've built the relationship, and now you're really like a partner with your client, which is what it's all about, right? So you want to become that client's advocate just as much as the agency. So if you have a really great team in place, a really great account manager, you are playing both sides in the best way possible. So you are making sure you're supporting that client. They might come to you. Maybe they're displeased with that. How can we make this better? You're also having that really great support for the team. They're doing A, B, and C to make sure that we're doing this right. We're on it. We feel like they are the only client at this point. They're prioritized. They are that partner for us. They have the support. We're there for them.
Love it. And some things that we've kind of built over the years for our team, things like how to become irreplaceable as a client account manager. If you understand these strategies, the partnerships are so much easier to build. Things like strategy scripts, how to speak to strategy with clients, good, bad, ugly, everything in between, reporting guides, having all these tools to be able to effectively communicate, build relationships, and then of course, which turns into partnerships. That is a quick overview of some client retention do's and don'ts. All of the resources that we talked about are available in the CAM community, so make sure you check it out. Client retention takes a lot of effort, but don't worry, we believe that you and your team can really put your best foot forward. Don't lose any more clients because you are doing all the little things that add up to the big things. So thanks for listening into another episode, and we will see you on the next one.
Cheers to happy clients.